Welcome to episode 368 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from the geeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William McDonald, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart, who looked like he was having a seizure for a second.
That's called dancing.
If
Known
you
across
say
the
so.
internet as casual terror. I'm white. I'm glow in the dark white. I can't dance.
That's why you don't dance. You just nod your head and kind of
But you
move
gotta
a little.
groove to the music.
Anyways, we got some stuff to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened, but before we get into the news, what have you been up to, Stuart?
Not a whole lot. Whoops, that's the wrong. Not really a whole lot. I did play a little bit of the new Battlefield 5 update, which, if you've been on the Battlefield 5 subreddit, has been just a wash of how much DICE has driven this game into the ground.
That's
And
been
how
pretty much the feelings for the last year, right? At least that's what you've been telling me every time the new update comes
honestly, coming into this chapter, the Pacific chapter, it's been, what is that crackling sound? Do you hear a crackling sound?
I did, yeah. It was kind of weird.
What is going on? I'm hearing noises. I don't know if it's a cable that's not plugged in right or not. Okay, I don't hear it now. Anyway, coming into this specific chapter, it's been okay, it's actually starting to get good. People are starting to make memes and have fun with the game again. All right, cool. And then DICE did the same fucking thing they did last year, which is change the time to kill that everybody fucking hated, and they ended up reverting because they wanted it to be easier on newer players, and so they won't die right away. Well, that also means they're not getting kills, so you need to fucking think this through. But they changed the time to kill. Like I said, they did this last year going into Christmas, and then they did it again, and they said they aren't going to change it back. They said they're not going to revert this at all. It's like, well, you fucked us. We're leaving. So I'm like, well, I will try this out to see how bad it is. It's not good. I think people are definitely kind of blowing it out a little bit, just a little bit, but it's still not good.
But it's the internet. Rabble.
Rabble. Yeah. But it's still not, like I said, it's still not good though. That's kind of the thing. It's still bad. It's still a bad thing for them to do.
How many new players do they think they're gonna draw? Do they think they're gonna draw more new players than, with this change, than piss off current players? Do they think it's a trade-off that's gonna be better?
They're not hoping to draw in new players with this change. They're hoping to make the Christmas noobs not leave.
I guess, but I mean, if you're playing this on Christmas Day, then there's so many other games that are way better that you could be playing on Christmas Day.
I won't. You got a kid, who's always loved the Battlefield games, and he finally gets Battlefield 5. He's gonna play it on Christmas Day, sure. But he's gonna come into a much smaller community than there was, say, 2 weeks ago. So, and they hoping to kind of soften this by saying, hey, those private servers that we promised you back 6 months ago, we're finally going to give them to you, but the only thing you can do is select the map rotations and the game modes. It's like, no, hold on. No, what we wanted to have was a hardcore mode. That's well, at least me, because that was definitely a popular thing in the previous Battlefield games when, people get their private servers and they do hardcore modes. They bring down that time to kill to match, say, what Call of Duty's is, or it was. I think the time to kill in this new Call of Duty is a bit high, but I think it's okay though.
I mean, that's Call of Duty. It's Twitch based, fast paced.
Sure, and
Sure.
the hardcore mode made Battlefield that, and it was good. I enjoyed it, but they're not letting us do that yet. They said that's going to come sometime next year. It's like, why? That's just...
I don't know. It's just another EA problem. Like,
yeah.
you
And
think EA would...
people are they're not blaming EA. They're blaming DICE. They're saying this is a DICE problem. EA,
I mean,
I don't
it
think
sure
they
as
had
hell
anything to do with this time to kill.
but you
This is
think
a
with
DICE problem.
you think with the state of EA, they would like try to rein in and be like, don't do anything crazy or outrageous
Eh,
right now. Try to just remain the status quo and keep
no,
players happy.
no. What EA wants to happen is for people not to leave and to keep playing the game. And
That's what I
so
said.
DICE's response
Remain.
was to make it easier, quote, easier on players, which lowering the time to kill is, I'm sorry, raising the time to kill is not an answer.
I never associated Battlefield with easy.
No, it's never been an easy game. I mean, it's always been, this massive, sprawling, insane game. But I mean, but like let's say you have like 100 health, but like one shot from a rifle is doing like 6-8 damage. But they didn't change were the time to kill for using pistols, and those you're getting 12-15 damage. So the most powerful weapons in the game are the fucking pistols. It was dumb, and the subreddit it was on fire more than usual. So I just wanted to check it out and see what all the hubbub was about. And
Yeah,
I also played. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not a Battlefield guy, so I guess that's why I don't really. I'm always like, whenever you're like, oh, there was a new DLC or new expansion or new draw, I'm like, oh, there was. Okay, cool. And you're always
Yeah.
you're you're always negative every time. It feels like.
Well, most of the time, yeah.
And I'm just like, why do you keep going back to it?
Because I like Battlefield. I do. I like it.
But you got Call of Duty, and you love Call of Duty now,
I do, and
right?
I've been playing Call of Duty. I played a bunch of Call of Duty today. They added the infection mode to the playlist, and I tried it. I played a couple matches, and I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it at all. It doesn't feel. I don't know. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, like Halo. Like that's really the infection mode that I really kind
That's
of
what I think
liked.
of when I was about to say, is it like Halo?
And
Because
this is so not. I didn't get those warm fuzzies from this. Um and yeah, I mean when you die, you know, you get put on the zombies team and you get a knife and a throwing knife and that's it. So, yeah, but yeah, I didn't quite care for it. Oh, and you start with a random loadout. So it's not like you're going into this knowing how to use the guns if, you know, you don't
uh,
use many other guns. Like myself, I tend to stick with a certain set of guns. So, um, but yeah, I did end up buying the battle pass. Fuck me, I bought it.
hmm.
Um,
Did you buy the regular battle pass or the like? Here's
I
25
bought
levels
the
battle
regular
pass.
one. I bought the
Okay,
regular
good,
one.
good. I know some people are like will buy the 25 whatever, but I'm just like, if you're gonna play the game enough to have, like, why waste the money on those 25 levels? Like,
Yeah, but well, the thing is, I don't play the game enough to really even get usually halfway through battle passes. Um, and I really kind of hope in this case at least get to, I think it's 32, because that's because there are guns in the battle pass and there's only two new guns that they added for this battle pass. One's at like level 8, the other one's at like level 32. So I at least want to unlock the guns. Not that I really ever use the first one, which is a LMG, which I never use LMGs. But the other one is an assault rifle, which I tend to use a lot. So, and of the new modes, the new maps that they added, I've really only ever played Crash. I have not played Vacant at all, which makes me sad because I loved Vacant. And apparently, last time I was wrong, and just the way that it was shown just didn't show it. Shipment is a gunfight map, which it should be because it's small. So that's a gunfight map. Um, but really, that's been about it for me. What about you?
okay. Oh, let's see. I really haven't been doing too much besides the new season of Destiny came out, Season of the Dawn, which I'm kind of confused because it's supposed to be $10 for each season.
Uh huh.
Um, and I guess I don't know. I guess they're giving. I don't know. The way they made it seem like was you buy Shadowkeep, you get Season of the Undying, which was last season. And then you have to pay $10 for each season.
Sure.
There's no way to purchase Season of the Dawn, and I have access to it on both platforms I play on.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like, the only people I know who also play, like, they bought the big edition that came with the season pass or the annual pass. So it's like I'm confused. Okay, I guess I get this for free somehow, or they just didn't they didn't clarify like that you'll get a season after the initial Shadowkeep with the, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird because I was telling you last week, like, I haven't come across a way to they haven't sold or there's no option to buy it yet. Like,
Oh, right, yeah.
and there's still no option to buy it,
I wonder
which is
if
also
I
kinda
look,
weird.
if I will see it because I didn't
Yeah.
buy Shadowkeep.
Yeah, it's also I've looked, like, I've looked in the Microsoft Store and I've looked in the Steam, unless it's, like, just recently, you know? But, yeah, on the day of, I looked on both stores to see, and I saw nothing about, like, Season of the Dawn or anything like that, and I'm like, I wonder that's kinda weird, and I've just been confused, but I've been all I you know, I'm the point where I'm like, I don't like to be confused, but I don't have to pay, so but I still am confused. It's one of those, like, I'm confused, but this is a good thing.
Yeah, I only see the DLCs.
Yeah, right? So, I guess you'd have to pay for Shadowkeep, and you can't just pay for the $10 for just this season of content, which goes against what their messaging was? So, I don't know, it's confusing. But like I said last week, they keep changing the way they do things, and they've never had a consistent, like, model or you know, content strategy, like, every year since Destiny's come out, it's been sorta different. So, that's been the most confusing thing for me out of this was, like, that's great, I don't have to pay 20 bucks because 'cause I've $10 on each platform, which I'm kinda thinking I'm just gonna stick with PC because I like the frames. It's nice and smooth.
Frames are good.
Frame rate is really good,
Also,
and,
mouse and keyboard
I
is
mean,
superior, but I know you're not using mouse and keyboard, but you'll get there.
I'm I'm dabbling in mouse and keyboard. I've got my game board, whatever, like, um, that the keyboard, the Logitech game board,
Mm-hmm.
that I got for, like, $3 at Goodwill. That's still one of my favorite finds, like, I'm not sure if they thought it was, like, a calculator or
Probably.
what, but, because I looked and it's like, "Oh, wow, this thing's like $70 on Amazon for $3. I'll take this." And there's one button that doesn't work, but it's really not a real inconvenience, so it's pretty cool, but, so yeah, I'm dabbling from that, but, what is it? I've been having some issues with streaming. I've been streamed twice, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like issues are happening. OBS settings are changing for OBS. Destiny set, and this is a problem that they've in their weekly update. They've listed, yeah, we know this is an issue where videos, like all the video settings for Destiny, reset every time you relaunch the game, which is a pain.
That would suck. Yeah.
Having to be like, okay, and especially, when I wanna stream, I have to put it to windowed mode and capture through windowed because you can't do game capture with Destiny on PC.
What? That's just so dumb. Why did they not put a hook in for OBS? That's
I don't know, I
just
didn't even know that till you told me that was a
that's just
thing.
so dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that. Was it? I don't know. It's weird. The I had an issue streaming. I streamed. I think it was on Wednesday. Can't remember. I think it was Tuesday actually. And I didn't have anybody watch the stream, which I'm not surprised because I took some time off due
Mm-hmm.
to life, personal stuff. Couldn't really stream, but now I should have more time. So, um, that I looked at the VOD of that, and it's like no audio for me. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. So I did when I was streaming last night. I made sure, okay, I'm gonna do a test record. Okay, great, this works. Awesome.
Right.
And then you're like, then you show up and you're like, I can't hear you. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking through all the stuff and I'm changing settings. And, you're like, oh, I can hear you now. It's like, yeah, but I can hear myself too because I put it on monitor. Like,
Right. Which that worked.
because that made my mic go through not only the mic but through my speakers, and you were hearing it go through
Right.
the speakers. That's why. And I'm like, I can't do this. And then I looked and I'm like, oh, this track is not checked.
That'd do it.
Why is that not checked? Like, there's no reason I would have unchecked that. But that and there's another track that was not unchecked, but I don't think that one was as important. But and was it the recording? I got a weird thing that was like you can't have multiple tracks in your recording file type. I'm like, wait, what?
What file type are you recording?
I had it like I think it default FLV, which
Right.
everyone
You can't.
says that was.
You
Yeah, and
can't
then I
have
switched
that's a
to
multi-track.
MP4, and I'm like, oh my god,
Mm,
this file size is huge.
yeah, I
Like,
would
oh my god.
recommend MKV.
Yeah, I
That is that because the problem with an MP4 is if like you like OBS crashes or something, that recording is gone.
yeah.
But in MKV and MLV, they're both flash. It
It
will
saves
record
what
up
recorded
until
up
the
to.
crash. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I looked at I just did the MP4 just like quick, and I was like, "Oh god, this is a 250 meg file for like 15 seconds at most of no."
Maybe your settings are a bit high.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm like, "Oh, this is not good. I need to change that." But yeah, it everything seems to once the mic issues got resolved, everything seems to run fine. Streaming PC using OBS, same, everything seems to be all right. I still seem to be getting around, anywhere from 70 to I think 100 frames in Destiny on like most of the settings are medium or high. Only a few are like low, like foliage, shadow, and stuff like that. That doesn't that it's like don't have shadows, on high and stuff like that because it doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
matter too much. All the videos I ever watched say that, and I'm like, I kind of agree. I don't really care about you know foliage distance or sh- shadow quality and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always turn down like shadow quality and stuff like that. Even if I'm not going to stream, I'm like I don't really. That should be easier just not to tax my PC like that.
Yeah, it's like turn the shadow quality down so you can have the actual textures quality higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's weird because the shadows it's like most games you can't turn like there's no low. It's like medium. That's like the lowest you can go for like shadow quality. It's kind of weird. The just medium is the lowest. Which I'm like, if there's no option for low, why don't you just call medium low? Like, you know, like
Well, if it go, but it goes up to 11, but then why not just make 10 louder? But this one goes to 11.
yeah, exactly. But the opposite. Um, but yeah, so that's cool. The there's I maybe because my expectations were lower, but so far there seems it seems interesting the actual season of the Undying. You get a new season pass, all the stuff, you know. There's the paid tier and the free tier. What is it? I haven't been I've been playing like almost every night, but like I haven't been like going crazy and like in past and it's like, "Oh, grab all the bounties and grab as many bounties as I can while I'm playing." And then once I complete a bunch, go back, grab a bunch of more, you know, and I'm like so far I think I hit 15, level 15 just doing like bounties here and there and just actually playing, which they've done a good job with like if you actually play, you're going to level up and have no problem. And they've also done a good job where it's like we're not letting you buy levels until the like last week or last week or two, and as a like actual catch up mechanic, like, for people maybe who actually didn't have enough time or who are, something happened or I don't know. But I like the fact that they're not letting you buy levels straight off the gate,
Mm-hmm.
like all the other battle royale games seem to. Like, you see you see streamers and they already have tier 100 stuff because it's like they'll make that money back, with in like one stream. So they bought all the tiers so that they have the cool stuff that their viewers can see them use and whatnot. But you can't do that with that. There's some story stuff that's kind of interesting. It's all about Osiris and he built like this time machine because he wanted to save another guardian saint, this titan called Saint 14, which like it's been in the lore since like Destiny 1, and there's a helmet and called Helm of Saint 14 and whatnot. And I think I've talked to you about it. The dude who voices Osiris, he's like the guy who plays the Mossad agent in this show and that show and that
Right.
show. And it's like I recognize his voice because I've watched, you know, NCIS and Covert Affairs and other other government agency show that had him, as a Mossad agent. So it's kind of weird, hearing his voice when I know like that's the guy who plays the Mossad agent on all the shows. Um, but there's some story stuff. They've had a couple. There's a couple cool missions so far, like kind of story related, and they they kind of time gate you. Like they had a couple cool stuff, and then it's like, oh, that quest is done. And then in the roadmap for next Tuesday, there's another one where it's like save a legend, where you have to like actually, I guess, save him from dying. But like in the last story mission, you give him his shotgun that he's known for having. That's called the Perfect Paradox.
Okay.
which, you created a paradox and it's kind of weird. And I'm like, oh, I see what you did there, Bungie. Very cheeky. I'm not sure if I should be I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is clever or if this is like pretentious. Like,
Well, at some
kind
point,
of
time travel is gonna be involved.
like the gun he's known for having, we end up giving him. Okay, whatever. But and then there's the sundial where it is the time machine, but it's also this of 6-player PvE event where you're either going in back in time or going to the future and fighting waves of enemy and bosses and stuff like that. You know, and yeah, I think it's 3 waves, and then you fight the main boss, and the boss is gonna rotate week to week, apparently. Um,
Okay.
and, he one like, they said in their stream, it's like, "Oh, this one instance, like, the they won the Red War, and they have control of the light, you know, from the Traveler." And there's certain, oh, you gotta kill these certain enemies who drop an orb, and then you have to throw it at the boss. It's like typical Destiny stuff. Pick up an orb and throw it.
Yeah.
That's at least this time though, like, you throw it and it makes this like fire, like this like area of fire that that takes down the big boss, or the boss for that stage, his like health or his shield. It takes down his shield, and then once his shield's popped, you can all do damage on him. But the problem with that is like he just walks away. He's like, "Oh, there's fire right here. I'm gonna walk away." And then you're like, "Crap." He's actually using logic in a video game.
How dare you?
And right? Like, but and there's was it there in this week there's they're called obelisk. They're like these, I don't know, they're random devices on 2 different planets right now, and there'll be more on others, but you can link them to the actual sundial so that once you complete a sundial, like, you get a choice between 2 each obelisk, if you link it, has a choice between 2 weapons at the end of the sundial, so you can relink, like, I want to go for an auto rifle, so I have to link the obelisk at the Tangled Shore, or now I want to go for this weapon, so I have to link the obelisk that's at Mars. And I think I got some kind of upgrade where I can link 2 at a time. So, like, I guess you get, like, now I get up to 4 choices, you know? So it's kinda cool, and then each obelisk has a, like, bounty where you or a bounty that's like it's called a weapon frame, where you're able to, like, do a task and then turn it in for a random roll of that particular weapon. So, like, the auto rifle, you pick up the bounty or the weapon frame of it, and it'll tell you, "Okay, get super kills." And once you get, all the super kills required, you just turn it in. You don't even have to go back to the obelisk. You just go to your quest menu and click on it, and you get your weapon. Or it's get kills with a grenade, or get, kills with this type of elemental weapon, or stuff like that.
Standard
And it's
bounty stuff.
it is, but it's the different some of the difficulties are very vast. Like the one where it's like, get kills with your super. I've gotten like 5 it's like I pick up the bounty. I activate this like public event and here's a wave of enemies. I kill 5 enemies, it's complete. Versus one where I had last night that was get precision kills and I had to get 100 of them. And
Okay.
I'm like, that's an issue. Like, that's a vast difference, like in difficulty between, you know,
Yeah.
like get like 5 or 6 kills with the super, and then you know 100 precision kills. Because I was like, I wonder how many, like, and there's like sites you can go on, like, Destiny Item Manager, where you can view your actual bounties and stuff like that, and it'll tell, because the bounties in game, they're just like percentages for the most part. So, but you can actually go and it'll, it looks at the, was it the APK or whatever, and or whatever it's called, and uh it'll tell you like the actual number of like kills you need and stuff like that. But and sometimes I look at that, and sometimes sometimes I don't. But I was just like, okay, don't want to look this up. Here's one precision kill. And I look at the bounty and I'm like, oh god, 1%. Oh my god, this is 100 kills I need. This is, oh my god, no. So that's I don't know if they're supposed to all be that hard, and maybe just a couple of them are like glitched or something, you know? Like if you kill so many people in a certain amount of time, with the super, it like counts as a multiplier or something. I don't know. But there was also a glitch where, because they added it where you can double up on mods now. Like you can have on certain armor, you can like say the gloves. You can before you can only have like one reload mod, so you could put like hand cannon reloader on once, and then if you try to put it on the on the other slot of that armor piece, it'd be like you already have a similar item. Well, they got rid of that where you can like double up now, so you can have like two hand cannon loaders, and they equal like an enhanced hand cannon loader. They said, and stuff like that. You can have ammo finders, double ammo scavengers, stuff like that. There was one where it was it's called Dynamo, where using your class ability, which is like, for a Titan, it's bringing up the little shield. The Warlock, it's bringing up the rift, and then Hunter, it's the dodge. Um,
Hmm.
using that gives you super energy. And there was a I don't know how this got through like Bungie testing. I don't know, but doing double of those, and then like you kill a couple enemies, and then use your ability, and bam, you have a full super. Like, it was crazy, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be fun to use. Like, this is gonna be crazy and fun, and
Supers all the time.
exactly. And Bungie disabled it until they could
Of
come up
course
with a
they did.
patch, which is like, now you're gonna do that? Like, because in the past, they've let certain things that have been like super
Warning,
broken,
warning, fun
ridiculous.
detected.
They've let stuff like that in the past, like, go on to the point where, like, they had weapons that were completely broken, and then they ended up releasing emblems to the people who participated in during that time that those weapons were broken. Like, they made a joke out of, the fact that there were weapons that were like ridiculously overpowered. So that kind of that kind of sucked, because like, was it Steve and I we were like, okay, we're gonna jump into some the Gambit, which is the PvE VP mode, and we're gonna have some fun like melting the boss. like at the end, and we were getting our stuff set up, and then, by the time we got, we took maybe 10 minutes to get all of our, all of our stats and, new mods and stuff set up, and then we see, oh no, it's gone. So that kind of
And it's gone.
sucks. Yeah. I guess a lot of people were like, thankful that it's gone because, oh, PvP, it could make PvP such a nightmare, which I mean, PvP is kind of a nightmare now because they made linear fusion rifles really good, which are like you charged up, like they're like fusion rifles, but like if a fusion rifle was a sniper, and they made those really good, and you can have double linear fusion targeting mods, and there's some craziness going on.
Wait, so like does that then like split the shot? I guess I don't know what that means.
It's a you char it's like an energy blast, but that you charge up and you shoot, but it's
Okay.
like a sniper, so it's like one like precise shot. You charge up and it's one precise
Okay.
energy
I
shot,
get I understand now.
or like energy laser shot, whatever. Yeah, and it's ridiculous. Like, and not to mention, there's one of the ritual weapons which they have, uh like each season or whatever, they have a new weapon for Gambit, Crucible, and like strikes, where it's like, here's a bounty, do these tasks, and you get a weapon. It's typically like, get this many precision kills with the weapon, get this many kills, get this many points, using the weapon in this mode and stuff like that. So everyone's using the linear fusion rifles because they want to get the linear fusion rifle that's part of that quest in Crucible. So it's kind of like, that's the meta right now. But it's it's interesting. Like, for I've heard a lot of people say, like, for $10, it's definitely feels like it's worth it. But like, not really, because you can't buy it for $10 right now. Like, I can't be like, hey, Stuart, it's $10. You should jump it. No, you can't do that. There's no way for you to pay $10 to jump in for this season.
That you know of. Maybe because I didn't buy
I thought you
Shadow
looked it
Keep,
up.
I have something. I have an option that you don't.
I thought you said you looked it up earlier and didn't
Right, but
see
like
it.
well, maybe it's in game, not out
Oh.
of game.
See, that was the thing. I was like, okay, is this gonna be like, buy this season for this much silver? You know, I was which I was like, I could see that being the case because, $10 you have to pay $10 for, it's $5 for silver, $10 for silver or whatever, and the when you buy 10, you get like 1,100 silver. So maybe they're like, oh, for 1,000 silver, you can get the season pass, and you gotta get the 1,100, so you'll have that 100 left over, and you can't buy anything for 100. So that would irritate people and maybe encourage them to buy more. That's I was thinking that, but I don't see it. So I don't know. It's weird, but there's a roadmap. There's going to be more obelisks to link to the sundial. There's going to be exotic quests. There's going to be new bosses each week for the sundial. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of content for $10. Well, there's going to be a lot of content for $10, but whether or not it's going to be a lot of content for 3 months, I don't know, because that's how long this season is. It's 3 months.
Right,
So
like
that's
normal passes.
Yeah, that's the big question, For $10, yeah, it's gonna be enough content, but is it gonna last the 3 months is it gonna be enough for the 3 months? That's the big question. Like, and that's what we're gonna see. And they're time gating some stuff, obviously, and we'll see how that plays out. Next week, like I said, they're having the continuation of like the story stuff. They're having the two new obelisks and the new boss, and then the dawning stuff happens, which is their like winter festival event. Which I from the past, it's like, hey, kill stuff here, get ingredients, from killing different enemies, and you can use those ingredients to you know make different recipes to give to different people, different cookies and baked goods and stuff. And it was like it was the first introduction we had to crafting in Destiny, was the dawning event.
Right? Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And I like crafting. Like, I'm a crafter. I like crafting in games, so if you can give us more crafting.
Well, you should definitely play Final Fantasy 14. It's like, yeah,
I did manage to get into the Old Republic.
yeah.
I
You
did
told
figure that
me
out.
that you figured out your password. Did you actually get logged in and everything?
Yeah, it was a nightmare because you were like, "Yeah, you all you have to do is just, log in and then leave the thing blank and then it'll tell you, "Hey, do this." And I'm like, "Okay, great." But I don't remember
Well,
my password.
yeah, that's the thing. I
Okay,
remembered my password.
reset. Okay, forget your password or click reset it. Oh, you need your security key. But I
Yeah,
don't have my security key. So it was kind of like it would have been that would have been a stopgap for me. Like, I
right.
would have had to call them.
Because
And
that requires calling.
yeah, but luckily, apparently, I I was using old passwords, because this was a long time ago, right? Like,
Right. This was
this was
2013.
2012,
Yeah,
13.
somewhere along there.
No, this was 2012. This was before I had my computer, because I remember I played this on a laptop that barely could run it.
Ah,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
okay,
this
yeah, because it
was.
came out in 2011.
Yeah. Okay, so no, this was 2011 then, because we
Well, it
jumped
was
on it right away.
December. It was
Yeah,
December 2011.
but we jumped on it like when it launched. I remember that. So yeah, yeah, I remember I was playing on
Yeah,
a
I got
laptop that could like barely run
the
it.
collector's edition figure right there.
Yeah, I got the box somewhere. I didn't get the fancy edition. I just got
I
the
used the
regular.
box as kind of a table for a good long while.
Oh yeah, you just got the collector's edition.
Right, and it was a large box. I'm like, just a short table. It just goes like right here, right next to my computer.
Yeah. But was it I jumped into it, and uh boy, there was a lot of stuff in the mail, like the post.
Right.
And boy, I accumulated a lot of currency for having that security key
Yeah.
activated.
Yeah. Yeah. I have it. I got a bunch too.
Like, I got a lot. And I am like, wow, I could buy a lot of cool stuff. Like,
You
this
probably
is
got about as much as I did, like
I
six
think I
thousand or something like that.
I think it was 7,000, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
It was insane. Like, and I looked at like some of the pricing for it, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot. Which, was it like 100 a month for like 8 years,
Yeah, because they
seven
didn't start
years?
doing that till later till after we
Oh,
stopped
did they?
playing. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, but still, that was a
because
lot.
when
So
we stopped playing, there wasn't even a store. Like, cause like there wasn't anything like that when we played.
There wasn't? I thought there were. Okay. I don't remember,
Not like
but
it is now.
yeah, the weird thing was, like, the post also, it was like, here's lost items you have," and they're all, like, crappy stuff that I'm like, "I thought I this is stuff I probably deleted?"
Those could remain lost.
Yeah, like, there's some really crappy stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." But, yeah, I didn't play too much of it, I just, like, did enough to get in, like, because it took a while to actually remember what password I used, 'cause it was it was the point where I'm like, "It couldn't be this password. I haven't been using this password that long, have I?" Or this it's like like, there are years, like, there are years, where I associate passwords with, like, you know,
Sure,
this is the password I used back when I had AIM, or this is the password I used back
right?
when, I was, this or that, and, I was using all these really old passwords, and I guess, I was a much more recent, not, but yeah, so that was kinda weird. And it was also weird to when I logged in and I'm like, "Oh, that's the username I used. Wow, okay. Android Geek. Okay.
Right.
Not even Poetic Soul." It's like, I wonder why. Was Poetic Soul taken? Couldn't I
You were probably already starting to think of getting out of using Poetic Soul.
Yeah, maybe. That's true. But yeah, that was, boy, 2011, that was early on when we started the podcast stuff, because we started in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like our, second year, around our second year. But yeah, so I maybe God, there's so many games I need to play. There's so many games I need to play. I want, like you said, with this, they have some of the story stuff free now, like the
So
new
yeah, some
story
of the
stuff,
like the next like the first two expansions are free to play.
which that's what really like has me interested, because I really enjoyed this. I I don't remember as much as I'd like,
I
but
remember I liked it, but I don't remember what it was.
yeah, I remember I really liked it, especially because, it's fully voiced.
Right.
So you're able to be immersed into it, and um yeah, so that, and it's I mean, it's a good Star Wars game. It really is. Like, and it's baffling that, like, BioWare, they're not letting BioWare make an actual, like, Star Wars RPG that's not an MMO.
Yeah, every time there's like a big announcement or like a bunch of games are announced, I in the back of my mind, part of me just wants like a KOTOR. Just KOTOR 3.
The issue with that is, though, that all the games and stuff leading up now are considered canon, right?
I still consider KOTOR canon.
But, like, they
Because there is
don't.
nothing to say it hasn't. It's not. There's yet to
But
say
Disney doesn't. So unless they come back and say, "Hey, that is canon," they can't just make a 3, they'd have to maybe make, like, a reboot of, you know,
I'm
Knights of
okay
the
with
Old
that too.
Republic,
But like I
and
said, like
have,
there has been nothing to say or to like show that like those games didn't happen or like
Oh,
that story those stories didn't happen because it was thousands of years ago or
I
a thousand
fully
years
understand.
before the trilogy. So I'm like, it could have totally happened.
What I'd like to see is, I'd like for them to be canon, for Disney to be like, "Okay, these are canon," and them to do, like, a Resident Evil 2 reboot, or, remake
Just
of them.
redo them from the ground up.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, right?
I'll be okay with that too.
Yeah, like that
If
would
it's
be
eventually
just.
going to lead to more, yes.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But EA holds the license, and they've done 3 games in the
They almost
7 years
have
they've had it.
they almost have as many scrapped projects as they have released projects.
Right.
Which, like, if you're Disney, you're kind of. I wonder what Disney thinks about that, because it's baffling that like, how long has it been, and we've only had 3 Star Wars games. Really, like, two, because two of them have been kind of like
The
the
same
same
game.
game,
Yeah.
but slightly updated.
Right.
And there was that big fiasco associated with Battlefield 2.
Battlefront too. Yeah.
Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront.
I
So
I, may, I
like,
make that mistake all the time too.
yeah, so like, I wonder what how Disney feels. Like, I kind of would like for Disney to, when like the contract's up, them to like not give it exclusive rights to any certain developer, and to
Right.
contract
I
this,
I,
it
I
out
really
to
hope
whoever.
with with how successful that Fallen Order is, that it's like, hey, no, there's money to be made here that you just haven't been taken advantage of.
I hope that too. Yeah, because like, you look at like the N64, like how many Star Wars games were on the N64? I think we've had this conversation before.
I can think of 4 off the top of my head.
And that's more than this generation.
There have been 4. Haha.
Yeah. And was the N64 didn't last as long as this generation has, right?
96 to 03.
Oh, really? Huh. Yes, I don't know. I guess I didn't get an N64 till a lot later then. Huh. Yeah, I definitely didn't have an N64 in 96.
I think I did.
Really? Wow. Huh. Yeah, I was still playing Super Nintendo Sega in 96, I think. Maybe. I don't know. It's so long ago. Everything runs together, but yeah, it's kind of, and we've talked about it before, like EA, like they don't have a lot going on
Right.
that's successful. You know, they got they got FIFA.
Yeah, I've not heard anything bad about FIFA, but then again, I'm not looking at FIFA subreddits, so I am
You
looking at
know,
Apex, and I am looking at Battlefield. So
and Anthem. Well, I mean,
Anthem is
you're not
just
looking
a
at Anthem.
garbage fire,
Yeah.
so we just
Yeah.
know that's fire. So
Yeah, that's 3 massive, like, IPs that were supposed to be, like, great. I mean, there's
Apex
been
Apex is it's still
it's
going
been
strong.
it has, but there's been a lot of controversy around it, you know. Anthem, just, like you said, garbage fire, and then, like I said earlier, every time you bring up something new about Battlefield, it's always negative. At least
Yeah.
it seems like that way. So, like, and then you look at, like, they do have FIFA, but then you look at their racing games, like Needs for Speed games. Those have always been those recently in the past few iterations have been kind of either meh or bad.
Right.
And then the NBA Live games, they just
Haven't
decide
been
not to do this
been
year's
releasing them?
because yeah, because not that good. Like so, yeah, you'd think they'd like Star Wars. That's a moneymaker. So let's go into it, and there really hasn't been a lot, which is just baffling because,
It
like I
really
said,
is.
like thinking back to when we were kids, there seemed to be Star Wars games left and right. You know, when Star Wars, like Star Wars is, I think, just as popular now as it was in 2000, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Give us, give us, give us Baby Yoda Simulator.
Well, okay. Well, Baby Yoda is in Sims 4,
I did see something about that. Yeah.
so
Is that just like a fan created mod or is that like an
I don't
actual?
think so. I don't think so. I think
I mean, it is
that
EA
is a
though,
real
right? So
it's EA. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, they do have the Sims. That's, I guess, successful for them. Like it's like
Yeah,
it has
I
its
always hear
audience,
good
but like
things
yeah, I hear
when I
good
do hear
things, but
about
it's like I don't
Sims.
hear like it's like you hear good things when you hear about it, but you don't hear like game of the
It's not
year
a constant thing.
contenders or
Yeah,
like record breaking sales or anything like that. It's just like it's got its audience.
it does.
So, which is what you want as a game publisher slash developer is like if you can have a consistent audience that is going to come back, you know, when you make new content, and that's that's perfect. That's guaranteed secure money. So yeah, they're gonna do a Fallen Order 2, right? Most likely.
I can almost guarantee it. Yeah.
Yeah, which it's good, I guess. Like I'll eventually get around to playing the first one, or I'll the first one, but like it I wish I just want to see more. Like I want to see more, more like I love The Mandalorian because it's exploring stuff that's not what we've seen, you know,
Mhm.
which is Jedis and lightsabers, and I liked Rogue One because it was not Jedis and lightsabers, it was like the same
And then there
universe,
was a
but
Jedi in it.
s well, yeah, yeah, but
Then you should see Solo. I can tell you right now, there is not a single Jedi in that.
isn't Darth Maul in it?
He's not a Jedi,
But he's a Sith, evil Jedi.
and he's in it for 5, maybe 2 minutes.
I don't know, I've been going back and forth on should I see it, should I not? I
I
might
think you
end up,
should.
if it gets to a point where it's like I got nothing better to watch, but, I've been catching up on a lot of stuff, so but, but yeah, man, that was a big tangent from talking about dabbling or maybe possibly going back to the Old Republic, which yeah, that was the first MMO I ever played too. So yeah, I don't know. There's just so many games I need to go back to and finish and play, and
Right? Yeah.
you
Same.
know, it's I need to go back to Control and finish that up. And
There's new
there's there's a,
stuff.
there's new stuff for Control. I need to go back to the Outer Worlds, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to
I need to finish Outer
restart.
Worlds.
I'm thinking maybe I want to restart that on PC. Do you get a Xbox achievements playing on PC? Outer
No,
Worlds? No. Okay.
I don't think I've gotten any achievements.
That kinda sucks then.
Although I don't really care for achievements like I used to, so I really don't care.
Yeah, I like achievements because if it's a game I enjoy and I have fun, I look at the achievements and I'm like, "Okay." And it gives me more stuff to do, and it gives me more objectives to do in the game, you know? I only ever really play through I only ever really get 100% achievement on games that I care about, the Borderlands games and Left 4 Dead games and, stuff like that in the past. But
Yeah, when I look on um, the Xbox app, it like there is no achievement uh, bar.
yeah, see,
Like
that's
the
weird because
option is gone.
some of those games you do get achievements for through that are Game Pass on PC and some you don't, so it's kinda weird, you know? It's kinda weird how Microsoft has had, set standards in the past for stuff, and they've just been kinda laxed on a lot recently. I was listening to a podcast, I can't remember which one, and they were talking about, like, remember when the 360 when, every game had to have a demo?
Right.
And now it's hardly any game has a demo? Stuff like that, you know? But anyways, that's it. We can jump into some news.
Yeah, we can jump to some news. Some news happened. Whoops, that's too. Um, like for instance, last night were the Game Awards,
They were.
and with the Game Awards, a lot of world
World
premieres also show
premieres.
up. And it's just to jump into the big one, the big world premiere. Xbox announced what the next Xbox is going to be called and what it looks like. It's going to be called the Xbox Series X, or as some people are calling on the internet, sex. Like, well, they didn't think that through. Just take SE from series and the X, sex. They didn't think that through at all. So
Yeah, but was the latest when they came out was the sad.
true.
So
That is
you had
also
sad,
true.
now you have sex. Sad sex. No.
Sad sex. Oh, that's always the worst. And kind of here's what it looks like. It looks like a damn PC tower.
Kinda, but not as big. No, definitely not
Not
as
as
big.
big. Yeah, it's not as big. It's not.
If that actually is, you'd use the controller because I was looking at that and I'm like, that's about as
Well,
big as
let's
that's
see. It's about
almost as tall
third.
as
See, about yeah. Okay, be about
that's that's
maybe
almost
13,
as
14
tall
inches
as
tall.
the Xbox One.
Uh, Yeah, it's about if you stand the Xbox One X or the one on its edge, it's about that tall. Yeah,
Yeah, we just don't know if it's because it kind of looks like it's a little not as wide, but it's not as thin in certain. It's more
it's a
it's more
square.
cylinder,
It's a square.
well,
It's
rectangle-ish. Yeah, where but I don't know. It's kind of weird. It
yeah. The
people are
the
like,
big question really is like, can you put it on its side?
you can. They've said that.
Oh, they have said that. Okay, because
Yeah.
what some people were questioning is like, hey, how's that going to fit into my entertainment system?
Yeah, I've seen people say that, but do we all have entertainment systems like we did back in the day where like I don't know, like when I think of entertainment systems, like that people always talk about, I think of like back when we had tube TVs that fit
Right.
like into them and had like the cabinets on the side where you could put games and mo- uh, movies and stuff. And it's like a lot of people like they have like
Well, like
they don't
I'm looking at
have
mine
big
right
things.
now. I don't think that would actually fit in mine. Like if I put it in the like one of the middle shelves, it won't. I don't think it would fit in mine just standing up straight like that.
Yeah, because like for me, I have my TV like mounted to the wall, and I have like in the living room we have a TV. I have a TV mounted to the wall, and then I have like the entertainment system is like it's mounted to the wall as well, but it's this like long like shelf type thing that like it's a shelf, and but it also has slots for like movies below the shelf, and that's it. So
Yeah,
like
see,
the
I don't have a wall mounted TV. Mine, mine's an entertainment system with
yeah, I
a
mean
stand on the back of it. But yeah, like if it couldn't turn on its side, that would not fit in mine. I'd have to set it on top.
yeah,
Um,
but they said you can, so
that's fine. Like, my like really only complaint really on like the look of it though is like I feel like the disc slot, even though I probably will never use it, it's a little close to the edge. Or like standing up like this, really it's really close to the bottom.
yeah, I mean,
I would
and
have moved that up about an inch or two.
that's also what makes you like, yeah, of course you can turn it on the side because you to have something where you have to put the disc in, sideways,
There are tons of things
like
like
oh,
like the consoles now you can turn them on their sides and it reads
but I
fine.
mean to have it, to where it's only readable, you can only have it sideways. That's the thing. Like that'd be kind of a mistake on their part to do.
Yeah,
Where you couldn't tilt it on the because some people are gonna be like, "Ah, oh, you don't want the disc to be sideways." I'm sure there are people out there who think, like, putting it's a disc in sideways is gonna, like, mess it up, like, I definitely
I
know certain
that
people who
still
would probably think
it
that.
still would make me worry. Like I don't want to put this in like this. I don't want to do that.
Ex Exactly, because you look at, in the past, DVD players, Blu-ray players, disk drives on PC, they're always, you always put them in flat, not on the
Right.
side. So, the common, everyday person is gonna, see, oh, putting it in the side and just be like, that's not what I'm used to. That can't be right. But anyways, and then there's a rumor that there's gonna be another edition of this that's not gonna have the disc, and it's gonna
Well,
be
I
like,
can see that because they made the Xbox like that too, or yeah, the Xbox One
yeah,
like
was
that
it
too.
the rumor is this or the high end one is going to be 4K 60, which they've said, up to 120 frames, you
Sure,
know, and
Var-
it's 8K
variable frames
capable.
by the way.
Yeah, and they said it's 8K capable, so like guessing future proofing for,
Sure,
like
as you'd
digital
want to do.
media. Yeah, maybe not necessarily games, but like maybe, you know, movie rentals or stuff like that come out
Hmm.
as 8Ks or stuff like, but and then was it the cheaper one will be uh was it it'll be 2K, um like 144 or
That would be
something
the
like
one
that.
I would get because that sounds just fine to
Exactly.
me. That sounds
Exactly.
okay to
Like
me.
I'm with you there. Like the only issue would be like if I ever do get a 4K TV, like I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, so
Right.
You know, whether or not I'll ever need a 4K Blu-ray though, or if everything's just gonna be digital. Because hey, Disney Plus, all the Marvel movies from now on are gonna be on there.
Sure.
So maybe that won't even be an option, or that won't even be a need. So, but yeah, I like that. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, it'd probably just be $100." But I'm like, if they're smart, they would make it a lot cheaper. They would take a hit on it because one, if they do a no disc, one, take a hit on it, make it cheaper to get people into it because one, that you have to buy the games digitally and you can't resell them. So the people can't, people who have this, they have to buy all the games new digitally. There's no option for them to buy secondhand. So in the long run,
Uh,
you're going to be making money, on the software side of it.
yeah, true, but no, it would be $100 or $150 cheaper.
I don't know. Can you imagine if they came out with one that was like 300?
It'd be great, but I think the lower end one would be for maybe maybe 450.
Really? Because the everyone's saying the high end one's gonna be 500. Everyone's saying there's no way the high end one is gonna be over. The high end, well, the PS5 and the Series X now is 500. There's no way they can go over 500 because look at what
Mm,
Xbox did in the past. Look at
right,
what
and
Sony did in the
definitely look
past.
what happened to the PS3 at 600.
Second job. You'll want to get a second job to get it. No, no one did. No one got a second job. But
Not just for that, they got a second job
yeah,
for
not
other
for that.
reasons.
Yeah,
Not for other
yeah, not
reasons.
for
People
that.
got second jobs because the
Yeah,
American economy sucks.
yeah, because they had to, not because they
Because
wanted
they
to
had to.
have a PlayStation 3 for $600. But yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, I I have no problem with the way this looks, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't have too much of a problem with it. It's definitely different. You can tell like we want this to be a PC to make it, and they made it look like a PC.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like if you do lay it on the side, it's not going to be more than the width of the Xbox controller tall.
Right.
So
Which is
I mean,
yay.
yeah. So it's really not that big. It's just shaped differently than we're used
Yeah,
to.
it's just shaped weird.
That's the thing. Like it's more like a like a brick than like a flat DVD player type. Because that's what all the consoles have kind of been. They've kind of been like a DVD player looking device, where for the most part it's flat. You
Well,
lay it down
if you
and
think about it, the Wii was kind of like the one of the few ones to kind of the Wii and the GameCube definitely kind of
yeah, the
broke that.
GameCube. It's got a handle.
It's got a handle, and the Wii was upright too.
That's true. Yeah, but couldn't you also set it down on the side?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because it was a stand that made it stand up.
Yeah, and the Wii was tiny. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, the GameCube was the one that really was like different.
I will say this, like this, like the Xbox Series X looks 10 times better than the dev kits of the PS5.
Oh, those things were, yeah.
Those things look
Like,
hideous.
those things look like what in the 90s, what you'd think consoles now would look like.
if you look up what people thought the Xbox 720 would look like, I bet you the Xbox, like the
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 is on there.
Yeah. Definitely stuff like that. Like, we've always seen weird concept designs, for futuristic looking stuff. Yeah. And it's like, no, those, we don't care what they look like as long as they can play what we want them to play. Like, because,
And look as good as we want them to look. Yeah.
and, it's a black box. Like, it's shaped differently, but in the end, that's what it is. It's not really, it's not like it's some weird color or anything like that.
Yeah, because
Which,
in the end, nothing really matters
yeah,
because
which makes
we've
me
come
think
too
like
far.
it's gonna be weird if they do like special editions, like the Halo version of this. Like, what? How are they gonna? How is that gonna look like? Because there's no like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Just pick a big old Master Chief face on it. Like there's a room on the front there.
Yeah, but
Actually, you know
yeah, that
what?
was
I
the.
think that might actually look like just make it kind of like a silver kind of Master Chief kind of like that would actually look kind of cool. Kind of like a dark gray, like just kind of you see the design, but it doesn't stand out. Like no, I could definitely see special editions looking really cool.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just, yeah.
And
I
hey,
don't know.
they made that R2D2 Xbox 360. You put a dome on this thing, you can make an R2D2 out of that.
Oh God, you could make a good R2. Hey, Fallen Order 2,
There you go. Yeah,
Fallen Order 2 edition.
yeah, but that's BD though. That's not R2. BD is a different thing entirely.
I mean, but who's to say R2 isn't in Fallen Order 2 somehow?
That'd be pandering. I don't want R2 to show up in that game.
I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, it's we got the name and we got what it looks like,
Yeah,
which is
and we got the first look at the first and a game that was announced for it, and supposedly the trailer was in engine. I don't believe it. That was too good. I don't believe it. And that was what was the name of that game?
oh, was that the heavy metal music video?
It was heavy, but not heavy metal. It was kind of a chanting.
It seemed metal to me. Like,
It was very metal without any instruments. Um, Hellblade 2.
yeah, like I'm like I the whole time I'm thinking this is like something out of Cradle of Filth or something like that. Like, this is kind of metal hardcore stuff. It's kind of weird.
It was very weird, but like that looked way too good.
And that's
So
Ninja Theory.
yes, that was Ninja Theory.
But I mean, you say it looks too good, but this is supposed to be like a really, really beefy hardware, like 4K up to 120, depending,
Yeah, but
like
it's still like on the same as like PCs now. Still, like top end PCs. I don't. And that was supposedly in engine. Not you say it was pre rendered. Sure, I believe it.
yeah. But I mean, and also like yeah, PC specs are more powerful, but they also have more they have to do than consoles. So there's always that trade off. Consoles are more focused, but anyways, it
Yeah.
it
We
really
got
didn't show
Game
much. But
Awards. Yeah, yeah. There wasn't much shown. It was just kind of a hey, it's coming next year. So, um, I don't think we should. We can kind of just run down through the list on some of these. I'll kind of start at the bottom of this list. Best action adventure game was Sekiro. Best game direction was Death Stranding. Best
I
independent
gotta say
game
real
was.
quick, some of these awards were just like, who cares? Like and you could tell because like, they were, like, real quick ones that they just, like, quick like, best
Oh,
esports coach. Who cares?
oh no, yeah. They've always done that kind of stuff though. The like not presented on stage.
Yeah, it's just like,
They've always done that.
do people really, like, follow esports coaches?
Yeah, apparently.
That was, like, very weird to me. I couldn't, I can understand following a team or players, but, like, "Oh, I'm a fan of this esports coach."
There are people
Like,
who are fans of sports coaches. So I mean, like football coaches. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
true, but then again, like, that's more mass media, they're more out there than
But it's esports. People follow it like traditional sports.
yeah, that's true, I guess.
Uh, Best independent game was Disco Elysium. I actually thought that Untitled Goose Game would win, but um, and that was the one that Reggie was on stage for, which
He gave a nice
Reggie
speech.
Reggie gave a speech. That was a good speech.
Like, I got to a
So
point where I'm like, "Oh my god, is he still going?" Like, wow.
yeah, he was the longest presenter to give. Every presenter had like a small speech and everything, but like Reggie's was
He was
long,
giving Jeff Keighley a
but it was a
he was
good
getting
speech
close to
though.
Jeff Keighley's amount of time, like, shoot. Yeah, it was good, but it was lengthy. Yeah,
Best role
Disco
playing
Elysium won a
game.
bunch.
Disco Elysium did, and we're gonna Disco Elysium won best role playing game and fresh indie game. Um,
Which I was
Player's
sad that Slay
choice
the Spire
was
did not win.
Fire Emblem, which okay, yeah, Fire Emblem was good, but Fallen Order was great. Fallen Order was great. Best performance was Mads Mikkelsen, or as Jeff Keighley said, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, I was like, I thought
He
that was
said his name
weird.
weird. Best VR game or best VR or slash AR game was Beat Saber, which when Jeff Keighley was talking about those, and it came to Trover Saves the Universe, he laughed. It's like, yeah, right,
Yeah,
that
they
one's
did.
not going to win.
Yeah, that's a game I kind of wish I had VR to play.
But
Beat
Beat
Saber,
Saber, yeah, that
Beat
one,
Saber, and then Super Hot. That would probably be so cool in VR.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there are a couple of VR games that would be like really cool to play.
Because I love me some Super Hot.
Now, best ongoing game, I think that one drives up some controversy because that one was Fortnite.
Again. Yeah. But then again, like, they are, like, pumping out content. And, like, didn't the guy say they have 1,000 people working on Fortnite?
Over 1,000, yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you
That is insane.
like I rewatched that one because I heard something about that one and it wasn't exactly true, but not very many people really clapped for that. Like that was definitely some piped in audio for that clapping. Like what I heard was that nobody clapped for it, but there were some people clapping.
Yeah, but
But
like
it wasn't
over a
enough
1,000
to
people.
um
That's
I don't know. I kind of thought that any other games should have won. You know, Apex, Destiny,
I
Final Fantasy
don't know about
14.
Apex. They've had some rocky
No.
issues.
Yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
maybe Final Fantasy 14 or Rainbow Six probably.
Final Fantasy 14 Rainbow Six, definitely. One of those
Those
two should
two,
have
one
won
of
it.
those two. Because
One of
Rainbow
those two
Six has
definitely
been
should have
knocking it
won it.
out of the park. Like,
Best
this one was
multiplayer game
interesting.
was Apex.
Tetris 99 was
I mean, you know, that's a
when
multiplayer game.
yeah, but so is like Destiny 2, and there's a lot of other but Tetris. I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, wow, okay, that's not gonna win
I
over.
mean, the only reason Destiny 2 even showed up on some of these was because ongoing, because it's been a continuous game.
And
I mean,
they're known
it's
for their
not like
community, and
Destiny 2 is not necessarily a new game. So,
yeah, and they yeah they did win like best community or something like that, right?
yes. Which that is definitely and could be an ongoing award.
Yeah.
Um Best mobile game was Call of Duty Mobile.
I was kind of
Did
surprised from what I've
yeah,
heard. Grindstone and Sayonara Wild Hearts and With the Golf are like
what the golf?
I heard a lot.
Yeah,
I heard lots of stuff about all three of those.
yeah, definitely. Um Best sports / racing game was Crash Team Racing. I didn't know that came out.
Yeah, there was a controversy because it came out and then like shortly like after like a bit after it came out, they added microtransactions and people got
Oh,
upset
see, I
because
didn't even know it was
Activision.
actually out. So,
Yeah, been out for a bit, I think.
uh, biggest family game was Luigi's Mansion 3.
His joke about I think Nintendo has a good chance
Yeah.
because they were all Nintendo games.
Uh, Games for Impact. This one was given out by the Muppets. Oh, well, that was cool. It was by Dr. Bunsen and Beaker.
Yeah, which that bit went on a while.
That was a good bit though. I enjoyed that bit.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
You
it,
know,
but I was thinking like,
they
there's
put
some
Beaker
people,
in Untitled Goose Game, which was funny,
which was
especially
great. I wish it was
because
DLC.
Untitled Goose Game was not even up for this one.
I wish that was DLC because that'd be great.
That would be cool.
Because
I was
that's
kind of
coming to Game
expecting
Pass.
that to be DLC. I kind of thought that was going to be DLC.
I did too, and I was like, great, I can play this because it's coming to Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah, but
Let's see. Gris won that one on that one.
yeah, Kind Words I thought maybe should have won because
Kind Words, yeah, sure.
that sounds like a really cool game. Like, could make a lot of impact in people's lives, I think.
Best action game was Devil May Cry 5. It's okay. Best art direction, which was given out by I can't think of her name.
Oh yeah.
The one chick that everybody kind of fell in love with at E3. She kind of came back and did her thing again.
I thought it did not click this time for me.
It didn't go over as well, I don't think, but
because I think she like realized what happened last time and she was trying to play into it. It felt like,
yeah,
the way she
yeah,
was like
and
skipping out onto stage and
also, she definitely has trouble with the English, clearly, and she
Oh
was
yeah.
just falling over her words. Which, hey, I have trouble with English too. So
I had a hard time understanding her. Like I was really
yeah.
trying. I was really listening, and
But
yeah,
Control won for that one. I kind of was
Control is
expecting
beautiful.
maybe
So
um, Legend of Zelda to win that one.
maybe I guess I don't know. Possibly.
Um, Content Creator of the Year was Shroud. Um,
No surprise.
which he was actually streaming at the time, and I just jumped over to his stream when like right after that happened, and just everybody in his chat was like, "Congratulations, you won, you won, you won." He was like, "Oh,
Which
I won? Huh, that's weird because I'm not even there." All right, that was literally his
which
reaction.
they did like some like highlights on certain people and stuff like that, and they kind of talked about Ewok, and
I didn't know she was deaf. I had no
I didn't
idea.
either.
Well, because
After
I've
seeing
never
that,
watched her.
and after seeing that, when this came up, I was like, I kind of want her to win.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of want her to win. Then I'm like, yeah, maybe she should have won that, huh? Best strategy game was Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'll agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that one. Best audio design was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'll go with that one too. Best fighting game Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Jump Force was nominated.
I laughed at that too. I'm like, why is that on there? Because there hasn't been a lot of fighting games. That's why.
I mean, I guess, but that was just like, wow. Yeah.
I think maybe there were five fighting games that were released this year. So there you go. That's why
Yeah.
Jump Force was on there.
By default.
Yep. Best narrative was Disco Elysium. I've definitely heard a lot of good things about Disco Elysium. So, best score music was Death Stranding. Best community we already said was Destiny 2. Um, I actually could have seen Final Fantasy 14 in that as well because
Yeah,
they've
or
got a
Rainbow
good
Six.
community. Okay, yeah, if you're looking at community support, sure. Like if you're looking at the community in general, Rainbow Six has kind of a bit of a salty community.
I would not put Fortnite or Apex in that
Yeah,
though. Like, because there's some salt in those communities.
definitely. And then we come to Game of the Year, which was I'm actually gonna say this: Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds, and Sekiro won.
Or Sekiro, if you're Vin Diesel.
Sekiro, right? He did say that weird, and that was given out by Vin Diesel and
Michelle
help me,
Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I
He
have trouble
said
with names.
Sekiro, and then the lady, the announcer said Sekiro, and I'm like, wow. Instantly, he's called out on saying it wrong. Like,
Right.
which that whole thing was weird. The Michelle Rodriguez, Vin Diesel, like,
Yeah, and they showed a trailer for the
I'm wondering if they were high.
Fast and
Like,
Furious game. Maybe. Maybe.
and that
They
game
showed
looks,
a trailer for that game.
oh,
It doesn't look good. That game looked
it
bad.
looks rough.
It looked really
There were
bad.
points where I'm like, this looks like GTA 3 characters. Like,
I was thinking like this looks like it could have came out last generation.
Yeah, I was
because
thinking
like
like
it
late
was.
PS2. Yeah, like,
No,
but there
it
were
was
some
definitely better than
points.
that.
There were
It was
some
definitely late
the
last generation
cars
stuff,
looked
but it was still not end of current generation.
the cars didn't look bad, but when they showed the people, oh,
It was yes, it was the people
and
that
the
looked bad.
voices didn't match the lips quite right.
Yeah, it looked
It
bad.
was some weird. It was some uncanny valley like uncomfortableness watching that.
especially especially in the same award show where where we saw some amazing looking trailers, like we mentioned
But
that Hellblade, like that looked amazing.
yeah,
Like that was some amazing
but
looking people, and then we show uh Fast and Furious, and that
and
looked.
again, this
Hmm.
is the Project Cars people, which they've only. I think their games only have cars. They don't have like real people, real character models and stuff.
And now we
So
know why.
yeah. But yeah, like the people looked rough. Vin Diesel looked the best, I think, out of all of them.
Yeah, yeah, he
And then
was. Yeah, you could tell that was Vin Diesel. Anybody else, you couldn't tell.
Tyrese kind of
Roman, oh
looked.
my god! Like no, he did. I don't think he looked at it at all. Like I didn't think he
Tyrese looked
looked.
weird. Yeah, like maybe I. It's because I knew that was Tyrese, but I was like, but it looked. Oh, it looked rough, and all the other people just. I don't even know. It was. Yeah, it looked rough, but like when they showed the car, just the cars, I was like, okay, this doesn't look half bad. This doesn't look as bad as the
Yeah, but
people.
it also looks like a very generic car game.
Oh yeah, like it's
Like
the people who made Project Cars. Like it's not
it's like,
Forza.
oh look, it's a movie tie-in game. Huh? Remember how bad those were? Yeah, it's gonna be one of those.
People like that Fast and Furious Forza though, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
I remember people love that because that was free. I think it was a free standalone thing, and people were surprised. But yeah, like I think they were high because when they were talking about when they got to the point where and we're gamers and we would play. Well, I think they said Tekken and Street Fight and stuff. When they were talking about stuff like that, I'm like, wow, like
I mean, I definitely know that they do play games though.
oh, I
I
do,
mean,
but like just the way they
yeah,
were
like they definitely
talking
do play games, but like,
and I say
uh,
this because like the kind of funny cast they like one of their podcasts they have like where it's like the Internet Explorer show where they go over all the internet and stuff like that, and they always have like a Fast and Furious this many days till, and they'll always show like clips from like Vin Diesel's Instagram or stuff like that, and they're always saying like what you can tell they're high in this or you can tell stuff like that.
mhm,
So I think they do partake quite a bit. And hey, if you're Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez, why the fuck not?
right,
Like
sure, yeah.
you're untouchable.
And of course, there was also a bunch of trailers and premieres last night as well.
There's some good stuff.
We can just kind of pick out the ones that kind of stood out to us.
Yeah. Because not
Um,
everything like needs to be mentioned.
right, like that Player Unknowns game. Like, what the hell was that? That wasn't. It's called Prologue, I think, and it showed nothing. It
I
showed
mean, they
nothing.
rumored not rumored, but that was like kind of known that they were making. We talked about that, right? That they're making a kind of
Right.
story type.
But from what I've seen articles about that though, it's not a shooter.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyway, Maneater, because that is kind of first on this list. That looked cool. That was that shark game.
The shark one? Was that what's his name? Oh god. Chris Parnell, the dude who voices Jerry from Rick and Morty,
Didn't stand out to me.
and he was like an archer. He was like I thought it sounded just like that, like him. Yeah, Chris Parnell. That's the actor. It sounded just like him, and it was very weird. Like I'm like, why is Chris Parnell voicing this random shark game? It sounded just like him to me. And maybe because I've heard him in like Rick and Morty and uh what's it called, Archer, and I've heard him a lot. So, but that looks pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, that was like fun, like just dumb fun.
It's like Goose Game slash Goat Simulator, but with
Right,
sharks.
right. Um, I've never played a No More Heroes game, but No More Heroes 3, that looked kind of cool.
That looked
I
interesting.
was
Yeah,
totally into that. It was kind of like, what if ET came back and he was evil?
that was so bizarre. Like it went to it, I was confused watching that. I was because it got to a point where I'm like, wait, is this the same game or is this a different game or like did they go on to another? Because like the beginning was very weird and then it got just it was weird. It was bizarre. Someone was partaking when they thought of this game.
um, let's see, what was another one? We talked about how good that Hellblade trailer looked.
Yeah.
Um, there were two League of Legends games, like League of Legends story games. There were two of them.
Well, that came out, right? That they're working on like three different, I think, League of Legend properties.
Yeah, but like to have like two of them come out around the same time though, like
Yeah, that was definitely interesting.
let's see what else kind of stood out to me. Oh, of course, like as soon as I saw this trailer, I instantly texted my sister. Wolf Among Us 2 got a trailer.
Oh yeah, like when they were like, "Oh, Bigsby," and I'm like, "That sounds familiar." I never played the first one, but and then it was like Wolf Among Us 2, and I'm like, "Oh, Stewart's happy."
I was so happy. Like
He was
I
the first I
love
thought of.
like I loved that first one so much so that I read all the comics. Like I really liked that world. So like I'm totally into going back. Um, I don't know. What about you? What kind of stood out to you?
Uh, the Final Fantasy VII. That man, I've not really been like too excited, but watching that, oh
It
man,
did look good.
um,
I'm like I
it
really
looked
want to
really
play.
good.
Like it made me really want to like I should play Final Fantasy VII proper before I play this.
Yeah, it
I own
looks
it.
so good.
I own it on PC, and that is supposedly
Like
like the place to own it because you can mod it to make it look good.
it looks better than that movie they came out with.
The
That looked really good.
Advent Children.
No, wait, was that the one? Yeah, yeah, Advent Children, yeah. Which that looked really good.
I watched it and having no I know like no like to what and I had like zero ties to Final Fantasy VII. So I'm like, it's a pretty movie. I don't know
Yeah.
what's I like. Oh, that's the bad guy. I thought he you would normally kill those in the end of the game, but apparently he lived. Okay.
Yeah, that was my like I play I played I know I played Final Fantasy 7. I don't know if I ever finished it or not. but I definitely wasn't that into it, so when I I never saw all of Advent Children. I was it my girlfriend at the time's brother was watching it, and I would, like, glance and see and would be like, "This looks pretty damn good." Like, for especially for back then, because this was, like, what, '06, '07 when that
I
came
thought
out?
Within looked good too.
Oh god. Ugh, that was
At the
not a good
time, it
movie.
looked good. Like it looked amazing at the time.
Yeah, was it that Humankind? Like, it's not my type of game, but it looks kinda cool.
Humankind, is
I
that
know
the um it looked like a Age of
leave
Empires
your
clone?
yeah, leave your mark on society and
Yeah.
all the which I know some people are gonna love that. Like, the people who are into, like, Age of Empire slash Civ, right?
Yeah,
Those
that
type of
I definitely got
games.
an Age of Empires and Civ feel from that.
It's not my style, but, like, I can appreciate what it is. Um, the Mortal Kombat thing was a little weird. Like, I was like, I was confused. I was like, okay, Joker again, or Joker and Harley Quinn, or
They
like, but no, it's
redesigned
just Joker.
Joker. They didn't point that out. They
Yeah,
redesigned Joker because remember, like when Joker came out, everybody hated his look.
yeah.
So this was a redesign of the Joker.
Which I was kind of hoping Harley Quinn would be, revealed, but like, no, she was just in it for the trailer, for the Joker re-reveal.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
I kind of took that as she's also coming.
oh, Godfall.
Godfall looked cool. Like when I saw that, I'm like, is this No More Heroes 2 2? Or not No More Heroes 2. Um oh shit, what was the name of that game? Um oh, everybody
It reminds me of
hated it.
Too Human.
Too Human 2. That
I
was it.
love Too Human. Oh, Too Human
Like
was. I loved it.
I was
Like,
like, is this Too Human 2?
the only bad part about Too Human, I say, it was the death animation, having to
That took forever.
the long, yeah. I think that's what really turned people away, because that it really was bad. Like it was like Mass Effect elevator bad.
Well, that was a loading screen though.
But
That was different.
that's what this was, the loading screen. They were just hiding it with the
Right, but
or
there was
bringing you.
conversations in the Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Like
but this was
there
just
was
like
story there.
the angel was raising you slowly up to heaven or whatever, and that was it. Like, it would took forever. So I would say this was worse, but yeah, Godfall looked, and I'm kind of like, I was listening because it was like PlayStation 5, and they're like, it's gonna launch exclusively on PlayStation,
Oh,
and I'm
right.
thinking,
That's like the first game that's been announced for PlayStation 5.
yeah, and I'm like, launched, so it's not, so it'll come to other stuff like PC. Because I really want to play this, but I don't know if I'm going to get a PS5 anytime soon.
Oh, the other thing that was kind of similar to that though, New World. That looked cool.
That did look kind of cool. I did. That's the Amazon game.
Yes.
Yeah, the MMO, which I'm like, oh yeah, they are doing something.
Was it an
Huh.
MMO? Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an MMO, which it looks really good. Like, I
It
was
looked cool.
impressed. There was a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff,
There
right?
was a lot of Magic the Gathering trailers. Yeah.
Like, for not just like the card game, but for like other stuff, right? Like,
Well, I think there was something right after, like a Magic the Gathering tournament. like right
Yeah,
after.
wasn't didn't they say there was like a RPG or a story thing or something like that was Magic the Gathering related? I thought. I don't know. There was a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff throughout the whole thing. Um oh, the
I mean, there
Sons of the
was
Forest was trippy as that was trippy.
that was weird. Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, is that when she was like doing the weird dancing thing, and then you saw more legs, and I'm thinking, is this the forest?
when I saw the name Sons of the Forest, I kind of had a that could have been tied in with the forest.
Yeah, I was thinking this was the forest, like before they even revealed the title, just because I remember like the Achievement Hunter playing this, and they had those monsters with all the weird legs and extra, and
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh
stuff.
yeah, some of those monsters did have that kind of look to do with them.
Yeah, it was a trippy trailer though. Like,
Yeah, and it does have the same font.
um, yeah.
So
Mm, yeah, was it Magic Legends? Isn't that that's the RPG
th-
like thing?
that or Theros Beyond Death,
Yeah, those
or
are
that
both
might
Magic the
be an
Gathering
expansion.
related, right?
They were, yes, they were both Magic Gathering.
Yeah, but like I think the Legends was like
Hard to
story
tell.
based,
Hard to tell.
which I'm like
Both of those trailers.
story based for a trading card game. Okay, I never really thought they would need them, but um, nothing else really is. I'm just scrolling down this list and
Gears Tactics looked cool. That
yeah, but
like if you're definitely a fan of XCOM and you like the Gears world, that game was made for you because that's
yeah,
totally XCOM with a Gears filter on it.
yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that was pretty much the Game Awards. Like it was
Yeah,
there's they are like by the time people are listening to this, it's probably over with, but they are doing a the Game Festival,
right.
which is a bunch of demos on Steam for 48 hours. So they think they said it's going to end Saturday morning or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at like 10 Eastern or something. And what was interesting is they said next year it's going to be on all platforms.
Oh, that's cool.
Jeff Keighley said that, yeah, at the end. He said next year it'll be on all platforms. I guess there was no point. I guess maybe there was no point in trying to rush it to get on Xbox and PlayStation because there's like nothing is being developed for really PlayStation 4
Yeah,
and Xbox One.
yeah,
So,
I can see that.
because PC is going to be PC, in
Right.
1 year, 2 year, 5 years. So, but so that makes sense. But I like that concept, because we've all, a lot of people have said in the past, like, not everyone can go to an E3, and also the people who go to E3, they can't stand in line for everything they want to play either. So why not make a virtual, like, trade show for people to play demos that don't necessarily need you to have someone coaching you through it? Because there are some demos at like a PAX and E3 where you just can't play it yourself. You got to have someone walk you through and explain because you know, they're doing different things, or they want you to play it a certain way. But there are a lot of stuff that they could just release as demos for like the weekend, and I kind of like that. I was telling you was it what's that game called? Skatebird. I'm gonna play
Hmm.
that demo. Like I was trying to get that to run, but I
Yeah, I
couldn't
did.
figure it
I
out.
did
But
play that, and it's kind of a Tony Hawk if with a lot more simulated physics. Like it definitely wasn't a Tony Hawk clone. It was had definitely a different feel to it. But
in
and then I
between
came
Tony
across
and
a
Skate,
game crashing bug because like all of a sudden the board just kind of stuck in a wall, and like I kept spawning on the board and then falling off because it was stuck in a wall.
gotcha. Yeah. So it's, but I've heard a lot of people talk about Skatebird. So when I
Yes,
and it's weird, like trying to find the game festival stuff was not
it's
as
hidden.
easy. Yeah, you
It's
have to go
hidden.
to like the sale, like what's on sale for the Game Awards, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're able to see it. Like, so that was a little tricky. Because it took me a while. I was looking and looking, and then I was like, well, maybe it if I okay, it is there. So that's pretty cool. Like,
And one of the games on here is by Cuttlefish, which is the dude who did Valley.
oh, okay, it's interesting. Yeah, there's like a dozen games on there, I think, close to it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Baker's dozen.
Yeah, okay. So that it's cool, like, and so it's another aspect to like changing the way award shows and I mean he already changed the way like award shows are done, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's changing the way like trade shows. Like the
Yes.
idea of it being digital now, which if it catches on, maybe we'll see like E3 have a digital section, you know,
Hopefully.
or
Yeah,
PAX
that'd be
or
really cool.
yeah, because not everyone can go to these trade shows, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason some of these demos. There's no reason why you can't let the public play through them.
Absolutely.
So I definitely wanted to bring that up. I thought that was a really cool thing. So alrighty,
We can just kind of quickly run through these next couple things. Sony had their state of play, um, and they kind of they announced some other things that weren't before the Game Awards, like the fact that Untitled Goose Game is coming to PlayStation 4, but it's also coming to Xbox One, which they didn't say, but it
Game
is.
Pass, Xbox.
Yeah, yeah. The PS4 is getting a magic-based battle royale, which looks kind of cool. Like instead of like picking up weapons, look like you're picking up spells,
So
and
Spellbook, the battle royale.
it's spell break. Yeah.
Yeah,
And like movement in that game looks pretty cool.
I
Definitely
guess
a lot
why
of
not? Like,
it looks like fun. Dreams got an official release date for Valentine's Day.
this is like the next the next level or step for like Little Big Planet type, make your own game type thing, right? Where you can create
Yes,
games. Yeah.
yes. Which there's a Jumanji game that was made in Dreams.
Was that game made in Dreams?
Yeah,
Wow. I mean,
like Jack Black and
The
um
Rock.
The Rock are they're promoting that this game was made in Dreams.
I didn't know. I didn't see that when they were talking about it on the Game Awards.
No, I saw this separately.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cartoony version of them, but like,
Yeah,
to be fair, I think it looks better than the Fast and
it looked better
Furious.
than the Fast and Furious one. Yeah, definitely.
You could tell. Oh, that's Jack Black. That's Karen Gillian. That's
Let's see. Um, Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting a DLC next year. Early next year.
Yeah, and I think it's
January.
coming out to PlayStation first before it comes to Xbox. I don't think it says it on here, but I think that's the case. Which, yeah, first releasing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks that they get it first, but yeah.
There's a Predator game that was announced that looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, and really the only other thing of note that really kind of stands out to me, Resident Evil 3 remake.
Which is like the worst kept secret.
Right. Yeah, there was definitely leaks all about that beforehand. So, but it's officially uh, announced,
Yeah.
and that was kind of Sony's state of play. Um, that's what really kind of stuck out to me. Um, did not say kind of anything about the PlayStation 5. So they're now back behind uh
Well, they already came out and
Xbox on that
oh,
race.
the name's
They
gonna
said
be.
the name, but with the Xbox we know what it looks like.
That's true. Yeah.
And with the PlayStation 5, we know what the dev kits look like, which is ugly.
Have you seen the rumors? Like, I've seen rumors of the one, the Series X, like being anywhere from like 5 times to 10 times more powerful than the One X. Which I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe 5 times more powerful, but like 10 times.
we don't know. Don't
Yeah.
know. Not until Digital Foundry really gets their hands on it, when like those kind of guys, break it down.
Yeah. They're they are known for that.
Yeah. And my last bit of news is kind of sad news for some people. Redbox is ending video games rental. So you won't be able to rent video games. Really, is GameFly still a thing?
It is.
Okay.
I every now and then when I'm watching something, I see, oh, Jesse, sheriff of whatever's played over 1,000 video games because he has GameFly. I see those horrible commercials from time to time on like YouTube or something else.
Okay. They're still making those.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
And I guess there still are video rental stores.
yeah. I guess we have one here. That's it.
Um,
Family Video,
family video. Yep, that's kind of the last stand.
and there's still one Blockbuster in Alaska.
Right.
But yeah, so I guess the thing is, keep an eye out if you want to get some games cheap, because
Sure. Yeah. Those will probably be going on sale.
they do that. Like when they cycle out games, like you can, they'll have it where you can buy some of the older games that they're like no longer going to keep on their in their boxes like for cheap. They do that with movies and games. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I think the last time I rented a game, it someone had cheated them and like printed out the bark or
Oh,
they scanned the barcode that's on the
they
like
just did a
little
copy of
inner
it.
disc and they put yeah, and I had to like contact them and be like, "Hey, um this happened. I didn't do this. Like, please don't charge me an
Honestly, that's
ungodly
probably
amount."
why they're getting rid of their games, is because they're so expensive and so many people are doing that.
Because they're not like it's not just $60. Like they have to pay like they have to pay a fee to be able to rent them out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more than just $60, and it's a lot more than just $20 for a Blu-ray or like they've got to pay like a specific fee like because that was always the thing. Like if you lost a disc from like Blockbuster or whatever, they didn't just charge you the price of what it would cost at Walmart. They charged you the price of what they have to pay.
Yeah,
So that's yeah, that's probably the reason because a lot of people stealing games and ruining it for the people who took advantage of this. Like
yeah,
I think I took advantage of it a couple times, like back when there was game nights and like "Oh, I'll rent this for one night and join the game night." That was
I
a
don't think
long time ago,
I'm
though.
not sure I ever actually
Yeah,
rented a game using Redbox. I never really used Redbox very much.
yeah, neither do
Maybe
I.
a handful of times.
And I'll get free codes from T-Mobile every now and then, and I'm just like, I just end up giving them away to other people
Yeah,
because it's like, anybody want this code? Because I'm not gonna use it. Because I don't have enough time to watch or play the stuff that I currently need to, let alone
true.
adding new
Yep.
stuff.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of sad. But there's still, like you said, there's still GameFly
Yeah.
for people who want to rent games. So next thing is who's gonna when are they gonna come out with digital renting?
Mm. Figured that'd be something Amazon would do.
Because Microsoft,
I can see Amazon doing
ideally,
that.
ideally Microsoft was gonna do that because they were gonna let you sell back your digital games. Remember?
Yeah.
So in a theory, that was like kind of the same, but some of those ideas Microsoft had were I was actually on board with.
Yeah, selling back a digital game does not sound bad at all.
And what is it? Steam is going to have to let people do that in certain countries, right?
At least in France.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of digital games that I'm like, boy, if I could just get a little bit of money for this, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, we were running a bit long, but it was we had a lot to talk about. There was a
Yeah.
lot going on, and it's not going to be a lot going on for a bit. So,
True.
I think the news is going to be pretty dry from till at least beginning of the new year.
Absolutely.
But anyways, this has been episode 368 of the Geeks for the Win podcast. You can find all the previous episodes at thegeeksforthewin.com, as well as links to our Twitch, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the GeeksFTW. Stuart is at Casual Terror, and I am Matt Geeky William. And we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals are harmed in the making of this podcast.
Although a couple did whine.
There were some whining, yes. I think tomorrow my sister and I were gonna try on her laptop to see whether tabletop simulator is going to work.
I would be glad to play some stuff on that because
And we're going to try Coup.
I like board games. But
So would you want to try Coup with us?
Yes.
Okay.
The next question is how do we figure out how to stream this?
Just don't look at each other's streams.
I mean, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, what would be the best way to like stream this for other people to watch? I don't know. I don't know how it looks on tabletop simulator, so I have no idea how.
It's just kind of like you see what cards you have. Like that's kind of
Okay. Yeah, I've always said I'd be down for trying, you know, certain board games and card games and stuff.
see. I found that, and let's see what else did I find.
When are we gonna do the Dragon Ball Z Guess Who? We had that lined up originally.
Right. Oh, see, I found Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Okay.
That's the one where you start and you like build out the rooms as you play, and then something happens, and based on like 23 different scenarios, like whether like either like one of us becomes the monster, or there's a monster in the house, or Achievement Hunter has played it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I watched them play so many different things that it's hard to keep track of what's what.
Like those are the two games that they played that really kind of stuck out to me.
Okay.
That and One Night a Werewolf, but I have no idea how you play that in not a setting like they have with like a bunch of
Yeah,
people. I don't know how
gonna
that's
say
played
the
without a
same
bunch of
thing.
people.
They have some Rick and Morty game, but I don't know what it says because it's in some other language. I think Russian because it says it has brackets
Oh
and it says
yeah, it
RUS.
says Russian.
Yeah. Um, it's popular. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's tons of stuff.
I remember I played Cards Against Humanities with some people at PAX once. Well, an app version of it.
Oh yeah,
It was,
I think I do have a Cards Against Humanity thing subscribed to. So it's also that in Munchkin.
Doctor Who Trivial Pursuit. I still need to finish last season.
I need to watch the Christmas special.
The New Year special.
Oh, right, yeah, it was the New Year special.
uh, I've been seeing stuff about this upcoming season.
That's funny. How do I send this to you? Why, there's no link. There's no link to this. Let's try that. See if that's it. Nope, that's just the page
Oh,
to what I'm on. Just the mat everyone had. Just look at that. I can guarantee you, I had that mat. I know I had that mat. Absolutely, I had that mat.
huh. I just don't get some of these like dungeon dice monsters. Why? Like, did people really like that in Yu-Gi-Oh? I
I
don't know.
guess. Ooh, Connect One.
I
Ooh.
saw that. I'm like, what? Doom, the board game. Guess Who? Video game edition. It was one of the kind of funny shows they have. They have like one of their shows. They have an ongoing where they have a game of Battleship, and they each do one turn every episode.
Okay.
And they're like, it's the longest game of Battleship ever. It's like every week, it's like, oh, B5, miss. H6 or 6 or whatever. It's like, oh, hit. Okay, we're done. Yeah, next week, like, it's kind of funny. Boy, there's probably every single version of Monopoly you could think of.
And more, because I bet you people have made up some too.
Total
It's it.
Recall. That's what it's called. I came across another one that's not all in Russian.
It's actually really cool because like some of these games people have written scripts, so like it actually kind of follows the rules. Like you don't have to know what the rules are. So like it just does it. It just does the thing.
Why? Why?
Well, let's see what. There's one that I have subscribed to.
I like one of the comments. Who hits their shit 24.5 watts? Which that's really kind of low. Like, if I am honest.
See, I've messed with that one.
No, I covered over this. Yeah. God, no one
I've
pizza.
messed with that one.
Oh, Pokeroll, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon RPG. This looks in depth.
Portal chess.
There's a lot of like crap, but there's some interesting stuff.
That's just D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely be down.
All right. Hopefully it does work on her laptop.
But that would be what, just 3?
Well, like Coup, there's a 2-player version.
Oh, okay.
So like you can play with Coup with 2. Coup with 2.
Don't you? Yeah.
And the
World?
one that we watch, though, that the Achievement Hunter does, that's the 3-player to 6-player rules.
Okay.
And there's roles that they've never done. Like there's a Joker role.
Oh, okay. Hopefully you can get this to work on her laptop.
I hope so. According to can I run it? It says it can.
Oh, I go to that site. I used to go to that site a lot. Back when I like wasn't sure like about specs, but now I'm like
Sure. Yeah.
knowledgeable. I bet there's a Pogs. Uh,
You are right. There's totally Pogs.
You're, the bottle caps just like reminded me of Pogs. If I spelled it right.
POGS.
I accidentally hit the H.
Pogs.
Yeah. Remember Pogs? Those were another thing that you look back like, was I really into that? Just like there was a phase where I was into yo-yos
There's
because
a
someone came to our school and did yo-yo
with
stuff.
it did
Like,
yo tricks. Yeah. Same
yeah,
with hula hoops. Saw
no one
some
ever did the hula hoop thing, but
jump rope too.
jump rope. Yeah, yeah. I remember there was a dude who did jump rope stuff and crazy jump rope tricks, and yeah, I had a VHS of a
O.J.
guy doing
Simpson
jump
on
rope
trial.
stuff.
Special collector's Pogs.
Oh God. What?
Check that
I
out.
see it. Yeah. It's not a lot of different Pog stuff. Alf Pogs, OG Simpson Pogs.
Yeah, that's it. Only like there's 4. That's it.
Yeah. Mm. Cir- Circle pieces of cardboard. Who would have thought? It's all about the slammers, though.
It was definitely the slammers.
Alrighty, I'm gonna hop off and grab something to eat.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same.
Let me know if that plays out and whenever
All
you
right.
want to.
Yep.
And until then, I'll talk to you later.
See ya.